This is the virtual meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals for August 12th, 2020. Your voice or image may be recorded. I'll take a roll call of those members present. Jim?
Here.
Dennis?
Here.
Keith?
Here.
Ginny?
Here.
And myself, Lynn Ryan. Okay, the first item on the agenda is the continuation of the Capes of Berlin. I'll declare the hearing open. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion that we continue the hearing till next month's meeting.
I second
Okay,
that.
and that would be September 9th. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Jenny. Okay, motion made and seconded. I'll do roll call. I'm an aye. Jim?
Aye.
Denny?
Aye.
Keith?
Aye.
Ginny?
Aye.
Okay, unanimous vote to continue the hearing until September 9th. We have minutes. Anyone have any comments on, this is just the minutes for last month, right, for July, right?
Correct.
I move that we
So
accept
that
the minutes of last month's meeting.
Seconded.
Which is July 15th. Motion made and seconded. Jim?
Aye.
Denny?
Aye.
Keith?
Aye.
Ginny?
Aye.
Oh, we actually got video of Ginny, yay. Okay, do we have anything in the way of warrants, or is there anything that you'd like to tell us, Denny?
No warrants. We haven't spent any money as of yet, but going over the year-end budget with June, she'd like us to see if we would entertain giving the money back to Northbrook Village 2, the sum of $5,020.26, and to Green Acres for $403.56. It's part of the, they give us the money in case we got to go to litigation or hire a person to check the minutes over the whatever's.
So we'll go on your recommendation, but Northbrook Village is 5,000 what?
$5,020.26. It could rise again.
And
by
they
40.
want that,
They haven't asked for this. June would like it to get it off of the books. It gains like 43 cents.
okay,
a
so
month.
Where does it go?
is it, to whom would we be releasing it?
Back to Northbrook Village 2. Whoever,
Okay, is that like an incorporated?
I don't know exactly. I'd have to check with Eloise on the final wording of it.
Will that zero it out? Is that the
Okay.
full amount?
Correct.
Could I just make a suggestion, Denny? Could you check with the town administrator and Ellie to make sure we're releasing, our vote is to release it to the right entity,
Correct.
and that the town administrator agrees with it? Would you mind doing that?
No, I have no problem with that. June has already been in touch with building inspector to make sure that the Northbrook Village 2 is completed.
Well, I just want to make sure that it isn't a retainer for drainage or, we have
I-
several of them that we keep on the books.
I feel the same as
So if
Lynn.
you could investigate that.
I can. And I know that was a fact with
Okay.
the villages up on top of Sawyer Hill Road. But I believe that Northbrook Village 2 was just a straight out money. So if we need to hire a consultant.
Okay, so if you double check that for us and make sure that we, in our motion, we release it to Northbrook Village too, if that's the entity that should get it back, or if it's, I know that was a lip and it was done by the town, okay? So I don't know if it would go back to the town or if it would go back to this Northbrook Village too. I don't know if that would be part of their maintenance or something, if it would go into maintenance buckets. So if you could check that out for us, let's put it on the agenda for next month.
Yeah, we'll see what we can come up
And the
with.
second,
Second one
I'm
is
sorry,
Green Acres. In the sum of $403.56.
okay.
I don't know if June talked to the
Hello.
building inspector, if that was completed or not. I believe it's got to be pretty close to being completed.
Okay, so could we again ask you to check onto that and we'll put it on the agenda for next month?
Yes, you can.
Okay, and you check with the building inspector, and it's not a bad idea to run it by Margaret, just to make sure. And to whom we're gonna do it, I don't know if it's roads construction or if it's, Green Acres, or we need to say to whom we're releasing it.
Okay.
Everybody in agreement on that, that
I
that's
am.
okay, that we do this next?
I am totally in agreement.
Okay, Jim or Keith, do you have any comments?
Nope. Let's find out what's going on with it, and if we can release it, let's release it.
Agreed.
Yep, I think we should get rid of it, yeah. Okay, so that's all we have under warrants. Members' terms of office. I had hoped Sue would be here because
She's coming.
I
She just
think,
called.
unless I'm incorrect,
Here she is now.
oh, she is. Oh, yay, Sue. Hi, Sue.
Hi, I couldn't find the Zoom meeting on the website.
If it should be on if you go to My Town Government, it's always there in the agenda.
Yeah, I gotta bookmark that link because I can never find it.
I put mytowngovernment.org and then /01503, and it goes right to Berlin, because I had some issues with trying to put in Berlin.
I had the same problem.
Okay, Sue, you're right.
Yeah, I'm here.
It accepts a zip code, but it won't accept the town.
I lost you.
You're right on time, Sue. We're discussing the member terms of office. I especially wanted to talk to you and to Keith about how do you feel about 5-year terms?
I have no problem with it.
Keith?
Yeah, I don't care. I thought we talked about this last time. We're fine with it.
I wasn't here
We-
last time.
We did, and we postponed it until tonight, but are we in agreement to use Margaret's plan to spread it out over 5 years for the members, but with the change, she was gonna have the alternates or whatever they're called, be for just 2 years. I think it should be consistent and it should be 5 years. And if you have a friend that you'd like to do in, we could use one more member.
Yeah.
Everybody in agreement, and I can tell Margaret that that's what we're going with, and they can do that this fall.
Which, the 5 years or the 2 years?
Does she-
5 years.
Does she want to do 2 to not scare people or something? Like, what is the?
I just think right. Yeah, but if someone doesn't, I mean, they can leave at any time they want to. I mean, if you don't, okay, let's do a roll call on who likes the idea of alternates or associates being 5 years. Sue, how do you feel about it?
I like
Which
5
is your
years.
druthers?
Well, I mean, because we have the option to retire,
Kate?
don't we?
Right.
Right.
So 5 years is fine.
Keith?
As long as you're here, I'll be here.
What did he say?
He
5
said
years.
as long as you're here,
What did you
he-
say, Keith?
I said 5 years is great. That's good.
Okay. And Ginny, did you like 5 years?
Yes, I do.
It's 5 years for us anyway.
Yep.
Okay, Denny
Okay,
and Jim.
Yeah, I think the 5 years is probably makes more sense. I mean, it's just less recurring follow-up. I mean, you only have to do it once every 5 years instead of every 2 or 3 years. So,
They
just
go
seems
quick.
easier.
Mm,
There you go. And it's consistent. I don't know why you'd want to do one group 2 years and one group 5 years.
I'm reading over,
Okay,
and
I'll pass that along to Margaret.
I'm reading Margaret, what she proposed, and what she wrote was, with only 3 appointees, this is under associate members, there can't be both
Yeah.
terms 5 years and 1 appointee expiration each year, so the following assumes a 3-year terms for associates. So I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me, but that's why she's explaining why associates should be 3 and not 5.
Yeah, I don't know why that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if we have 3 associates and we have 2 years that none of the associates get reappointed in those 2 years.
Yeah, okay. So that was her little explanation.
Do you want to let her know, or do you want me? Do you want to let her know, or do you want me to let her know?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
I can let her know.
Okay, just tell her that we did a consensus vote
Mhm.
and that we want, we like her plan, except that we would like the associates or alternates or whatever she calls them to serve
Associates.
for
The fi-
5 years.
And then we
I
can,
did double check. Did anybody double check? There's 2 places. One is in Mass General Laws that they talk about this. The other is in our own bylaw. Do they both call them associates or do they call them alternates?
I'm not sure about our bylaw, but I've got the copy of the Mass General and they call them associates. And I believe our bylaw does too, but I'm not 100% on that.
Well, I got my Funkin' Wagnalls right here, so let's take a look. I think it was. Under Administration Board of Appeals, 96. Okay. Towns, the St. Branches,
It does seem associate.
Selectmen shall also appoint 3. It does say associate, yeah, so it's consistent.
All right, I will let Margaret know the consensus of the board.
Yeah. Is there anything anyone like to bring up?
I have a couple things, if I may. One, I just wanted to let the board
Sure.
know that I received an email from the petitioner for the Capes of Berlin suggesting he saw that the 1870 Town Hall is open for up to 25 people to gather for our rental. And he's proposing that he rent that space in order to continue with his hearing in September.
Is our town hall closed to meetings?
It is right now, yes.
Any chance it may open?
The latest, it said for the foreseeable future, and I'm pretty sure at least through September. The problem is that you can't allow enough people to gather. So
Yeah, it's-
even at the 1870 Town Hall, and I'm asking, I don't know, wouldn't you still be violating the open meeting law because you're limiting the number of people who can attend?
Yeah,
Mm.
my reading of it right here specifically says no meeting offsite either. I'm looking at Margaret's email.
Okay. What's that dated, Keith, so I can look it up?
Set up by Berlin Board of Selectmen on Friday, 8/7.
Okay.
And yeah, Friday, 8/7. I can send this to you.
Yeah, and we never know. If you remember, we had one meeting where we had over 100 people.
Yeah.
And what do? Tell after this 25? If we do Capes of Berlin, we're gonna have more than 25.
In that 25
I mean, just
includes the,
taking us,
yeah,
taking town,
yeah, you gotta include in that count the
so
board,
I don't know that we could risk it.
petitioner and friends. Okay, and the other thing, I just wanted to let you know that I am working from home for the foreseeable future because I've been in Rhode Island and I can plan on continuing going to Rhode Island. So I cannot be at town offices, so that I'm not checking the ZBA box, unfortunately.
You're talking about the mailbox, not email.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if we can get a backup on that. Do you think either Mary Arata or Ellie Stalls,
Yeah, I can.
preferably maybe Mary,
Yeah.
or even Margaret would
Or
check
even my
the box?
boss, Richard Hanks, when he goes to check our box, you know, he's good about letting me know. So I'll make sure someone's checking it and I'll let you know when I know something. But yeah, I will not be in the office until Rhode Island is no longer a no state.
That's
What
convenient.
are you doing going to no states for?
That's where my boat is. And it can't just sit idle, and we work too hard and spend too much money to leave it sitting there empty. But that said, I literally go to the boat. I'm on the boat all weekend. I come home. I don't go anywhere in public. I take all the precautions, but the protocol by the state is if you visit Rhode Island, you have to quarantine. So I'm just going to the boat and to my house and nowhere else.
Well, this just sounds like a bad idea, Leanne.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
You're just gonna have to give up the boat. Let me know where it's parked, and I'll take care of the boat for you.
Well, thank you for the offer, Jim.
I think we should have meetings on the boat. Can we, it says we can congregate up to 6, right? We can do this.
Yeah, well, we couldn't social distance on our sailboat. That's all I have.
Did you have anything else? Okay. I just have one other thing. A note was sent to the town administrator from someone looking to buy a house on Capes of Berlin and said that because we're not holding meetings, it's preventing her from moving in. we're holding up her ability to move in. And I just responded to Margaret and said, are you looking for us to open up the meetings? And I think you saw the note too, Leanne. She basically said, you know, you never know when you're going to have 100 people there, so you really can't do that. I think any meeting we have to say that we might have over 25 people is probably very likely. So she said no, because I asked her, is this just an FYI? The second thing I'd like to say is, you know, if Mr. Rhodes or someone in his group wanted to question us, if they wanted to come to a meeting and question us, that's fine. This woman, as far as I'm concerned, really has no standing. She can't possibly have a purchase and sale agreement on a house that he doesn't even have permission to build yet, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to let you know that it was out there. Anyone have anything else?
I do.
Okay, who's available for
Jim,
August 12th?
Hold on there, Lynn. One item. I was contacted last week by a realtor. Apparently 100 River Road is now up for sale as of the 31st of July. But he had caught wind of the fact that there was some sort of conservation violation there, and had contacted the Conservation Commission, and they told him that there was a violation and that the ZBA was monitoring it for whatever reason. So I had a discussion with him and kind of clarified that the ZBA doesn't monitor conservation issues, violations, but he had a customer who's looking to buy that land and wanted to lease it back to the current owner so that the current owner could continue running his landscaping business out of it.
Oh, no, no, no. That's a,
So I explained to him, you know, how this all came about, the fact that there was the initial violation of the zoning ordinance and that the conservation issue came about as a result of people looking at the property because of the zoning violation. And so that kind of enlightened him as to what was going on. But he was, you know, he had a customer that was looking to buy it and wanted to rent it back to this landscaping guy, and eventually wanted to move his own painting business. The new owner owns a painting business, and he wanted to use it as a staging area for his painting business.
but
So I
not,
kind of, you know,
What
explained
kind of business?
paint. He's a
What kind of
professional-
business?
He's a painting contractor. Paints houses.
so he wanted to
Okay,
store his stuff there, but not live there.
Yeah.
And he wanted to lease it to someone else that was looking for a home-based contracting business.
Well, he wanted to lease it to the current owner, back to the current owner who has his landscaping business out of there. That was a violation of the zoning ordinance to begin with.
And nobody's living there at all.
No, nobody's living there. So I explained to him what was going on and gave him the reference to the section 320 of the zoning ordinance and gave him a link to the zoning ordinance document. And you know, I said, here's the allowable uses. You can't use it as a contractor yard. You can't just park your equipment there. And you know, if you want to run a retail business out of there, that's allowable. If you want to, you know, there's a dozen or so different specific businesses that can be run out of there. But had a fairly lengthy discussion with him to explain all that. And once he realized that all of this stemmed from a zoning violation to begin with, then it all kind of made more sense to him. But I thought it was interesting that the property just went up for sale. It's listed on LandVest as of July 31st. I haven't seen it on any of the other sites, but LandVest is a site that's used to sell a lot of commercial properties. but apparently the current owner is not going to come back looking for, a home-based business or whatever he had been talking about, fixing up the house and moving into it or whatever, but apparently that's now out the window. Because he's got it up for sale.
Well, it's a prime piece of real estate, but it is commercial village, is it not?
Yes, it is.
So it was only because that the present person living there or owning it or whatever is in fact, it's a residence, okay? Within a commercial village district that he could even apply for a home-based contracting business. But I find the best thing to do, the ultimate answer of any of these questions comes from whom? The building inspector. So, Rich is very good and he works very hard with some of the folks that, are coming into town or whatever. Because whatever we say, he may see something in the bylaw we don't see, or he may have a restriction that we don't. So you did a good job explaining things, and thank you for that. But I'd still say, go see the building inspector. He's not a bad person. Okay, does anybody else have anything else?
I have a question for Denny, his memory. Before 100 River Road was Spooky World, what was the name of that farm?
Tyler Farm.
Tyler.
Danny
Thank
Tyler.
you. Tyler. I couldn't remember for
What
the
was
life of me. Tyler Farm. Thank you. Just
Tyler, yeah.
thinking in the
Okay.
past.
Wouldn't it be funny for some people who lived here 50 years ago to see what Berlin looks like now? It
Yeah.
really has changed. When my husband and I moved here, I thought he had buried me alive. Okay, is there anything else? And everybody says they're available for August 12th, right?
Isn't that
I mean,
Today's
for September 9th.
Yeah, I am.
September 9th, correct?
Yep.
Correct.
I'm available, but it's hard for me to get here for 6:30.
Yeah, it is a tricky time.
Okay, maybe, is that something just because it's summer? I was gonna say we could change it to 7 o'clock
I mean, we always
if
used
no
to
one
meet,
had an objection.
the board is scheduled regularly
I
to
know.
meet at 7. We had changed it to 6:30 for Capes of Berlin to accommodate Amy. But we're not having the hearings as of right now. So 6:30 is a challenging time for me because I also have to arrive earlier to set up. So for me, it's really being ready or to head to town offices or get on Zoom shortly after 6. So it pushes everything up for me. So it's a kind of a tough time for me, but it is what it is.
7 would be great too for me. Can we just
Okay,
put
if,
7?
Yeah, I run my farm
and I
stand.
think daylight is gonna be less.
I also like 7.
I stepped on somebody. Okay, well, we've already opened and closed the hearing for the continuation of Capes of Berlin, so we're gonna have to do 6:30. But would you make a note, Leanne, on the agenda? It would be to change our regular starting time to 7,
Sure,
and we can vote on that next month.
sure.
I think everybody's in agreement that 7 o'clock's a better time.
Okay. I'll put
Okay,
it on the
anything
agenda.
else? Anything else? If not, I'll entertain a motion to close the meeting.
So moved.
Okay,
Do we have a motion and a second, Leanne?
We do.
Okay. Jim,
Aye.
aye or nay? Jenny,
aye.
Keith,
Aye.
Jenny,
Aye.
Suzanne.
Aye.
Okay.